It was supposed to be Russell's night.
Triple-double, but it wasn't right.
He played his heart out, but lost the fight.
Because the Pacers shine so bright.
The Kings fought back from 19 down.
But the Pacers just snatched the crown.
I should be sad about the loss right here.
But we'll get a top pick next year.
Camboose. Scott, is it you?
Darren.
Scott, is it you?
AJ. Under the purple glow.
Welcome back to the Kang Gang Pod. The Sacramento Kings are now 6-18 after a loss 116-105 to the Indiana Pacers. Whew.
Yeah.
Man, that was a game. And I say it like that because the Kings showed heart. There's a lot of times throughout the season where the Kings have not shown that fight to will themselves back to get back into a game. The Kings find themselves down 19 points. And what do? They come out fighting in that second half, which we haven't seen a lot this season. The Kings outscored the Pacers. They go into the fourth quarter about 7 or 8 minutes in. They take a lead for the first time since the first quarter. And then the Indiana Pacers close the game on a 19-4 run. The Kings only scored 4 points in the final 6 minutes. Ryan Thomas Clark, how are we feeling after that Kings effort tonight?
Oh, Christopher Dimitri Ramaticato. I will say I'm very happy with this result tonight. I am ecstatic that this result happened. It may have resulted in a loss, and it may have resulted in us having a better pick in the draft. But that is like the most. It was going to be like I said earlier, it was going to be which team is going to tank harder. And tonight the Sacramento Kings did that, but they came back. They fought back. I loved the effort, what I saw in the third quarter from 3 guys, really. Russell Westbrook, Maxime Raynaud, and Precious Achiuwa. Like those 3 guys really, drove the engine in that second half. Like those 3 players really, really did. And a lot of it was coming off of pick and rolls. That pick and roll duo of Maxime and Russ just works so flawlessly. It just, you can just tell that Russell Westbrook really understands the angles of how to really get guys on a pick and roll. And Maxime just really knows how to use those angles in a roll so effectively. So when you have a guy that they're really working, I can tell that Russell Westbrook has really spent time with this rookie being like, hey man, this is how you're going to roll. If you roll here, I'm going to get you the ball 9 times out of 10 if you're going to roll that way. And tonight we saw that. Maxime Reno was really responsible for the amount of assists that Russell Westbrook had tonight. And my God, I couldn't explain it anymore. We're seeing Maxime Raynaud be put into the fire, growing right before our eyes. This is incredible value that the Kings got in the second round. And we're starting a guy in Maxime Raynaud. And I think a lot of people in the NBA are going to start turning their heads and like, man, this Maxime Raynaud guy is like really nice for the Kings. And I mean, the results don't lie with how he's been playing the last 10 games. Like averaging over 12, 13 points a game, just doing it on efficient shooting. You just can't ask for that much more. And his defense tonight in that second half, unbelievable. Unbelievable. There was a play, I believe it was on Mathurin.
Yes. Yeah, I wrote that down.
Yeah.
I was like, oh, Max might get cooked here, but no. He found a way to guard Ben Mathurin so well. He was not giving him enough space to shoot. He wasn't giving him enough space to drive past him. He played that perfectly, and it forced Ben to get a little, what do you want to call it?
It was a goofy shot.
Scoopity scoop.
Scoopity goofy ass shot.
Like, he went to Scoops Ahoy, and he just threw it up, and it hit off the shot clock. And I'm like, that's how you defend Max.
He went to that gelato place that's over by Milagro Brewing, the Milagro Center, and just wanted to get like a couple scoops of gelato. But Maxime was not letting that happen tonight.
No,
not on his watch.
Max is growing before our eyes, everyone. And this was his second official start. He had great defensive plays. He was very efficient all game long. I didn't write down the field goal percentage, but it was great. He finished with 13 points, 8 rebounds, 3 assists. Max he's blossoming right now. And yeah, like you said, the NBA world is starting to notice. And the reason why I know that is because in all of my fantasy leagues, RT, Maxime Raynaud is on the transaction trends right now. So his stock is going up. People across that play fantasy basketball are picking up Maxime because they see the numbers and the numbers don't lie. And they're like, this is a guy that I want to add to my fantasy roster, which, yeah, it's fantasy, but he's putting up numbers and it's incredible to see. And he wasn't even supposed, I mean, we weren't even like, we're starting a second rounder and he's getting a lot of minutes out there and he's very effective from the field and he's just doing it on all ends and it's incredible to see. I can't be more proud of Maxime Reno. You see these stickers? You could get these on YouTube on our shop. If you go to our page, you can get these.
Link is in our bio for that. Like, if you are, dude, you took the words right out of my mouth because I wanted to promote that so bad.
Yes.
I wanted to promote that, but
get them before
Christmas. Get us like a Christmas gift, honestly.
We got Nick Clifford, we got Maxime Reno, and we got the Kang Pod logo. You could add these to your water bottle, your laptop, your... RT puts his on his... you
can put them on a refrigerator at home.
RT puts that on his ceiling so he looks at them before he goes to sleep every night.
And this was like, thank you, God, for letting me be on the Kang podcast. Amen. And so that's for... Yeah,
so go to the YouTube. There's a store link. Click there. If you want to support the boys, you want to support the podcast, and you want to support the Kings with some cool, unique stickers, you should get these, and that would be great. But anyways... outside of the plugs, let's talk about just this game, how the Kings went down 12 early in that first quarter, and it wasn't looking good because we fouled them so many times. We fouled them 7 times in the first quarter. They shot 13 free throws, RT. I was like, oh, God. It's another Austin Reeves Lakers game earlier in the season where they shot 46. I'm like, oh, they're on track right now. But the Kings found a way in that second half to not foul. But they were making those mistakes early. So talk about that first quarter.
Yeah, I mean, I want to talk about just kind of the discrepancy, right? When you look at the first half, they were 18 from 20 from the free throw line. And then we held them to 4 in that second half. Which
is crazy.
Yeah, which is great. But yeah, I just felt like they were the more physical team. Mm-hmm. In that beginning of that first half, you can tell that they were very aggressive. They got Keegan into foul trouble really quickly. Mm-hmm. They got DeRozan into foul trouble really quickly. And then again, they just imposed their will. Siakam is a 2-time NBA, not a one-time. He's an NBA champion, but made the NBA Finals twice. This is a team that made the Finals last year, so
don't sleep on them.
You can't sleep on them.
They may have a bad record right now, but don't sleep.
No,
they will come out and fire, which they did. 3 other guys, RT. Mathurin, Siakam, and Nembhard. 25 for Mathurin, 23 for Siakam, 28 and 12 from the Nembhard boy.
Yeah, that's championship DNA for that team, right? That's 3 pieces that are part of that championship DNA. TJ McConnell also had a pretty good game tonight as well. But like I said earlier, I think that they were very aggressive just on all standpoints. We turned the ball over a lot in that first half too. So when that happens, you're just going to find yourself in difficult predications for the most part, and it's just not a recipe for success. And that's why we were down by like 15 going into the end of that first half.
Yeah, at the end of the first half, 51-66. We had 8 turnovers. You know what surprised me the most? Those boys are so aggressive and lengthy on defense. They had 4 steals and 3 blocks in the first quarter, and the Kings had 0 blocks or steals. And I'm like, oh God. Jesus. And then that carried over into the second quarter. They finished with 7 steals, 6 blocks, 13 stocks, RT, from the Pacers that are a bottom team in the East. And then the Kings only had 2 steals and 1 block. But yeah, 18 for 20 from the free throw line. So they were doing everything they wanted to. And on top of that, they were hitting their threes. They made 8 threes in the first half. So the Pacers imposed their will. They were like, they did not look like a 5-18 team at the time. You know, it did not look like it at all. And you could see why, because they have depth, they have grit, and they have length on defense. And the Kings don't necessarily like playing against teams like that. And I don't know what Doug Christie said in the locker room, but the Kings flipped that switch because that third quarter was very exciting. And shouts out to our boy. who also, he had a great first half too. Don't get it twisted. This man had 9 points, 9 rebounds, and 6 assists.
9 rebounds
At the end, 9, 9, and 6 at the end of the first half. He was.
A lot of it was on the defensive rebounds. He was pushing the tempo, and it just transferred into that second half. So even if you don't have a turnover, you can still translate fast break points by just grabbing and going. That's why this Kings team is so highly paced. Mm-hmm. This is their top 10 team in pace, right? They just go. Like, Russell Westbrook just pushes that envelope, pushes that engine, and just tells the boys, like, go on the break. I got you. You will be open, and you will, through cutting, shooting, whatever the hell it takes, Russell Westbrook just finds a way to just make the game speed up. And it looks slow for him when he speeds it up, too. That's like the insane part.
He, at this age where he's obviously lost his athleticism a little bit, he doesn't have that crazy bounce like he used to. He's finding a way to find his spots. He knows where he could score from. He could score from the corner 3. He loves an elbow jumper. He loves kind of like a deep midi right now. And then he loves that back to the basket, turn away 1-footer when he's close to range. He's getting to his spots offensively. He's getting everyone involved. He's getting Precious Achiuwa the ball. He's getting Maxime Raynaud the ball, even Drew Eubanks. He's playing great with the bigs. He's getting open looks for DeMar Levine when that ball is moving because of Russell. Yeah, ending with 14 assists tonight. Unreal.
That's crazy, man. That's crazy.
He has been such a bright spot for this team, because without him, I mean, our offense just has no cohesion. Yeah, can he throw a bad pass here and there? Sure.
Can he turn the ball over? Absolutely. But I rather would have somebody that's going to try, and if it's a turnover, then like you live with that. But then like at the end of the day, if it doesn't happen, then so be it. If he was not on this roster, my God, I feel like we would be probably the worst team in terms of assists, So
we'd be bottom category in a lot of things.
Oh man, yeah,
that's true. That's very true. Yeah. The biggest thing that stood out to me in the first half was the Pacers were going on crazy runs, especially to end the quarter. They went on a 14-6 run to end the second quarter. They went on that 19-4 run to end the fourth quarter. So that was like the theme we saw in the beginning of the game, and it carried on at the end. They just got hot at the right times, and when they were hot, they made sure that the Kings, they put a lid over the basket, because the Kings could not even score. Even when there was like 45 seconds left and Max tried tipping the ball in, like he couldn't even make that at that point. No. So like that was just kind of like the storyline of the final 6 was just there was a lid, we could not score, and the Pacers got hot at the right time, and when they go on a run, they are hard to beat. And we saw that so many times in that playoff run that they had last year. And we happen to see it tonight. I haven't watched a lot of Pacers this season, but their record just shows the direction they're headed this season. But it did not look like that against us.
No.
And I was pretty impressed, especially by their big 3. They had, what was that combined? 48 plus 28, that is 76.
76. Yeah, 76 is going to make you win games. That's the recipe for success in this league. And when you have a team that's really built to compete for the East, I know Halliburton's out this year, so that's kind of out of the picture for them this year, because I do think that they're going to try and get like a younger player to kind of match that in a way. Which, if they had another lengthy wing, then it's game over. Game over, man.
They have some great pieces on their bench. I mean, even like Johnny Furphy was getting some solid
run. His birthday today, too.
21. That was crazy. I was like, dang.
I made a comment on there. I was like, Zach LaVine, like he clamped up Zach LaVine, and I was like, dude, Zach LaVine, you're getting clamped by a 21-year-old. Like, you got your pockets picked by a 21-year-old, man. Come on.
On the topic of Zach LaVine, let's just he had 16 points, 5 turnovers. He was, I mean, you saw it late in the game. He was getting disrupted out there by the Pacers defense. It's so crazy to think how the Pacers were such a bad defensive team the year before they made the finals, and then they made the adjustment. They figured out how to defend. And with that full court pressure that we saw a little bit tonight, it kind of forced the Kings to go into that full court pressure as well. But they were disrupting Levine like crazy tonight. 5 turnovers. It looked like he was not comfortable dribbling the ball. Most of Levine's points are off of catch and shoots. Normally he could kind of dribble into his move, but tonight he was like ball on the ground. Like it was tough for him. If he tries driving to the basket, it's gonna get swiped out. I saw that a bunch tonight, and I think that was, going from 42. I wasn't expecting him to have a crazy night, but 16 points. I wasn't upset about the points. I was more upset about the way.
Yeah, the turnover. Yeah, the turnovers are just kind of like that's the big problem with Levine, right? Is the turnovers were just basically just too much for them, right? But
it wasn't just Levine. It was, he was the leader on the team with 5 turnovers. But
yeah,
it was everyone.
Raynaud had 3 turnovers. Keegan had 2 turnovers. Malik Monk had 2 turnovers. Clifford with 2. DeRozan with 1, Eubanks with 1, and it's just like
basically if you touch the ball tonight, you turn it over.
Yeah, damn near.
Like the Kings finished with 19 turnovers, which is oof.
Yeah, that's probably a season high for us in turnovers, I believe.
But it was because Indiana's defense was so good. They had 14 steals, 7 blocks. You don't see that. Like the only time you see that is when Victor Wembanyama's playing. Like you don't see that many blocks in a game or steals, and yeah, it was. You got to give it up to Indiana. They wanted it a little bit more than us, and but I will say the Kings, they, instead of just giving up when they were down 15 going into the half, they fought extremely hard, and that's why Russell Westbrook was leading the team in minutes tonight, because he was that guy. He was that engine to keep the boys moving and getting the boys back into this game, but it just ultimately wasn't enough. But
turnovers, man,
we are proud of the fight, but it was just those simple mistakes, like the late closeouts, the bad switches on defense, and then just not taking care of the ball.
Yeah, and even then, like 14 steals, you got to think about some of the other turnovers, especially in that fourth quarter. Back-to-back travels.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh, DeRozan had to travel, and then Keegan immediately followed up with the travel. It was back-to-back possessions, and so
we just fell apart in the final 6. Like everything that could have gone wrong went wrong for us.
I don't. You know what? Like, hey, like you just. You move on from it. You learn from it,
because at the end of the day, if you're looking for the future, that this was a great win for the future. Great loss for the future. This is a great loss for the future, but
great loss for now. Bad loss for now, but a great win for the future.
No, exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah, we could talk about the fourth quarter now, because the Kings, they got their first lead after it was like 10-8 or something, or 10-9 in the first quarter.
It was 10-9.
It was 101-97 with 6 minutes left. At that point, I was feeling good. That timeout happened, and they went on like a 9-0 run. They took a 101 lead. And then from there, the Kings just could not get back into it. It wasn't even like the offense was like poor or anything. It was just the pressure that they put on us. And then when Indiana was getting off on the fast break, like it was just a recipe for a loss. And what was unfortunate, what I saw was Maxime had a screen on Russ. He was rolling, but he kind of had like his back turned a little bit. Russ threw the pass. Max couldn't handle the ball, and then that was where I saw, okay, there's no way we're coming back now, because I saw Russ get a little down, because because it was a good pass, but just, Max, he's played a lot with Russ at this point, but like obviously they're still getting used to each other, and you can't really expect a rookie to catch that pass over the shoulder yet. But from that moment, then Russ kind of got back slower on defense. And then from that moment, I think they had the 3 attempts where Siakam, I could have got the order wrong, but Siakam had 3 attempts. Offensive rebounds. And then that's where I was like, yeah, we're not coming back.
Dude, how about Ethan Thompson? Like,
I don't even know who that is, but I know now.
You know who? I'll refresh your brain, right? You think about 2017 high school, Chino Hills. He beat LaMelo and LiAngelo in the playoffs. He's a state title champion. You gotta put some respect on that man's name.
On E-Train?
Yes, on E Thompson. Like,
I didn't know E-Train was That's when he got into the league?
Yeah. Well, you know what?
Did he do 4 years in college?
Well, yeah, he did 4 years at Oregon State and then
okay.
bounced in the G League and then now has like a home with Indiana.
Is this his rookie season technically?
Technically, it'd be his rookie season, but yeah.
That's my first time hearing him. I didn't know he was the same age as
E-Train?
As the Chino boys. That's crazy.
Yeah, no, yeah, same year too. So, I mean, and he won the state title.
Now, hearing my respect after this game and hearing that he beat the Chino boys because, man, that was one of my favorite high school teams of all time.
Oh, yeah. And then he beat Wood Creek in the Open State title, too. So he's an Open State champion.
Dude, this guy.
Yeah.
Man. Dude, Indiana knows how to draft well or find guys.
They develop guys correctly. They know how to develop, and they know how to draft, too. I mean, Andrew Nemhard, especially that fourth quarter, going to Andrew Nemhard, he, like, pretty much drove the boat on pretty much getting us back to. He carried the boat on basically getting the Pacers back in with 2 timely threes, getting into the cup. His finishing, so crafty, his finishing is so crafty. Like he's able to get inside the paint and just is able to just make these maneuvers and just slow stepping,
and he holds it and then
double clutches too.
Yeah, he's good, man. And then he finds the angles to bank it in when he's falling like in impossible directions to score, and I'm just very impressed by him. Yeah, the Nemhards, like Mark Jones said, are making some noise in the NBA right now. Shouts out to the younger Nemhard.
Yeah, Ryan
is on a 2-way contract with Dallas. He's been going crazy as well. And Mark Jones said this on the broadcast. He said, Ryan, if you Google Ryan Nemhard is the number 2 on the Google searches. You know who number 1 is? Ryan Clark. Let's go. Put some respect on my boy RT, host of the Kang Gang Pod. One of the co-hosts of the Kang Gang Pod, making waves on Google.
Making waves, man. Just doing my thing.
When Mark Jones said that, I'm like, yeah, you don't even need to say who's number 1. I already know. I already know who's number 1.
Hey, come on now. Come on now.
Yeah, but at the end of the day, the Kings move on to 6-18. The Pacers are now 6-18. If you look at the bottom of the rankings, Kings are tied for 3rd right now. So things are interesting.
3-way tie.
At that. I was watching some Sacktown Sports, some Alan Stiles this morning, this afternoon, and he was talking about, or he had this guy from a podcast called The Front Office Pod, which I'm like, oh, that's actually really cool to have like the front office perspective. I'm like, I might need to tune into that because obviously December 15th is approaching, and then he was just kind of gauging like where the Kings are at with interest around the league, and he brought up Keon with Indiana, and he he pointed out something that I didn't think about. Teams might want to like go all in on a trade on Keon Ellis before December 30th, because then they'll have that 6-month period to negotiate like a re-sign before July 1st.
Right, because they have like the contract extension.
Yeah, and I was like, oh, that's really interesting. Mm-hmm. So that perked my ears a little bit, and also I don't know where the Kings stand with Keon. Obviously, we would love for him to stay, but I'm like, that was an interesting thing he mentioned. He was talking about DeRozan and Levine, and the front office guy was making it seem like DeRozan's going to be pretty easy to move because he's got that $10 million dollars only guaranteed next season, and then Levine, people are going to be treating next year like an expiring contract. So it seems like there's going to be some moves made, and I was interested to hear what you think on what I just brought up.
Yeah, I do think there is some market too. You can't forget about Sabonis because that's another contract that is another thing that you could see too, where Sabonis could get dealt. He was saying
that Sabonis's was
it's probably the hardest.
Yeah,
just because of contract length.
Because of length, yeah.
Because of the length.
Still like 100-something million left, and that's where the front office guy was like, yeah, that's where it gets a little bit tricky. But obviously, like everyone knows, Sabonis is, how great he is in the NBA. So that it wasn't a matter of his skill; it's just the length of the contract, which I thought was interesting.
Yeah, because after this year, he has 2 more years left on his contract.
Exactly.
So that kind of does say that he's probably going to stay on this roster, but he could probably be the next one dealt next year, because if you look at that cycle, right, we're seeing it with Levine where next year is going to be treated as an expiring contract, and that's when players are really going to try and go all in with Sabonis with that exposure too, because other teams, if they compete and they see that Sabonis and the Kings are still kind of bad next year, then that could be a chance where a team that could really, really take that next step and say like, hey, we want to go all in. We need rebounding. We need someone that's going to facilitate off DHOs, get guys open. That's going to be Sabonis, and that's going to be some team that's going to try and maximize their championship window. So I don't know.
It's interesting.
Yeah, it is very interesting. That's
another report came out today, and the report is from Mark J. Spears, GOAT, who loves the Kings, by the way.
Go.
He reported that the Kings are still very interested in Jonathan Kuminga, off of a Kuminga DNP in last night's, or was it last night they played?
I think last
night's
night.
The Mark J. Spears announces that the Kings are still interested, and they're lowering the offer. Instead of a future first round pick and Malik Monk, now it's just Malik Monk. So I'm curious what your thoughts are with hearing that, because man, Malik, obviously tonight, we can't really speak on tonight. He didn't even play in the second half. He didn't score in this game, actually. Only played 9 minutes in the first half, but I think Malik's been great this year. So, and I love that energy that he brings off the bench. Kuminga's obviously been dealing with a very, very, very strange situation for him in Golden State. Golden State seems to love, guys like Pat Spencer and Will Reed, and
Will Richard, yeah.
Will Richard, my bad. Will Richard, and there's a bunch of other guys that they like playing way more than Kuminga. So obviously, I think we're heading towards a Kuminga out of Golden State situation. So do you want to give him a chance in Sacramento, and would you do it for Malik?
Here's the thing I would say, though, because you got to think of it from like the Golden State perspective a little bit. I think this is I think this deal could work for the Kings, but would this deal work if it's Malik Monk for Jonathan Kuminga straight up?
I don't think they would do it straight up.
I don't think that's where it is too, because you got to think about where Malik Monk, if he was on the Warriors, what's his role really? Being the sixth man for that team.
It's like Buddy Hield's kind of their sixth man right now.
Exactly,
sixth man shooter,
and that's just another spot. And those two guys pretty much play the same role in a way.
Yeah, and then obviously they have Pods off the bench. They have DeAnthony Melton off the bench.
Mm-hmm.
So that's just a lot of guards. So that's why I'm like, I don't really see where Malik fits on the Warriors, but Kuminga on the Kings, I mean, it's definitely piquing a lot of Kings fans' interest. So if you guys want Kuminga on the Kings, let us know why. Or because right now I'm like, I could kind of see like a Keegan Kuminga type of thing, but they play the same position. Would Kuminga play the 4? Yeah, I think.
Yeah, you probably would put Kuminga at the. I mean, I think you probably
put.
The but Keegan would still be at the 4 though. That's
they
hard.
Would probably interchange, and I don't.
That's kind of too much.
I'm trying to like talk myself into it, but I haven't seen enough out of Kuminga this season where I'm like, okay, like let's go get this guy. But I think it's just he's in a tough situation in Golden State where it's like maybe they're purposely not giving him the shine to show other teams. But wouldn't they want to raise his value? I don't know. I don't know. It's a very
such a weird situation with Kuminga. Yeah, that's just weird. I don't know. The more I kind of like see how this is playing out, the more I'm wanting to stay away from Kuminga.
Okay.
Just from this case, because he is such a polarizing player, because I don't really know what his strength is besides being athletic and being a finisher. That's really the only two things that I can really say, because everything else he does is kind of on the inconsistent side defensively, in terms of shooting. And it's almost kind of like how Aaron Gordon was when his first couple of years were in the NBA, where he was this terrific finisher, but he didn't really have the shot down. He didn't have the rebounding, the defense. He really just solely relied on his athleticism. And I feel like that's what Jonathan Kuminga is like an Aaron Gordon type of player.
An early Aaron Gordon.
Early Aaron Gordon, very early.
That's actually a crazy good comparison. I was watching the Warriors game where Kuminga was playing, and he just he doesn't look comfortable out there.
No.
And it doesn't look like the Warriors are like allowing him to thrive, because like they're not really like running plays for him. They're not really. So that's why I'm like, if he was on the Kings, would that change, or would we see why Steve Kerr wasn't playing him? So that's why I'm like, I don't have an answer on my opinion on Kuminga right now because I just don't. I just have no idea what it's going to look like if he were on the team. But yeah, so far I'm not sold. I will say that I'm not
Me
sold.
either, man.
But the one thing I do, obviously that's a plus, is that he's only 22, right?
Yeah, 22.
And he's been in the league for like 3-4 years, and he's only 22. So that's where I'm like, wow, he'd be the youngest guy on the roster. So that is intriguing for the long term. But is he going to be like a Patrick Williams type, where he was a 4th overall pick and he just never really, you know what I'm saying? Like, he's just a guy. I mean
that's a jag. That's a jag.
Like, I know Jono's not here, but is Kuminga, like, obviously it's too early to place him on the alert. But so far, the Warriors have put him on alert, and they've made it very clear. They've made it very clear who he is. But yeah, that was something else in the Kings news that I found interesting. But
yeah, I mean, other news, obviously from the Kings, Devin Carter got sent to the G League. So, obviously this is something that has been happening. Devin Carter hasn't been getting playing time. He's been getting a lot of DMPs. And this is going to be his second stint with the G League in Stockton.
Why didn't they do this way earlier? And like, they should have given because, I mean, the G League started a lot later than the Kings season, but what are we 24 games into the season? That's where I'm like, he's had like maybe 10 DNPs in a row. I think I'm glad that they made the move because I think he deserves to play, and I think he could get, and like we were pushing for this last season, like get Devin Carter in the G League just so he could get some run. So I think it's a good move. I like the move.
I do too. And I think that you've seen it with the chemistry that has been happening with the Summer League last season, kind of going back to that. He's going to play with Dylan Cardwell, who is averaging a double-double right now in the G League. So major shout out to DC. Major shout out to DC. Gets to play with Daquan Plowden again. And
that's a former Kings starter. Don't you forget.
Yeah.
Wait, did he ever start, Dylan? I think he started one game, right?
Dylan?
In the early...
Dylan started pretty early.
Yeah, so DC is playing with a former King starter right now. That's good. Bring those summertime boys back together.
Yeah. So honestly, I do think that it is going to be really good for Devin to get some run because we've seen last year he exploded in the G League, and there were games where he damn near averaged 30 in his first G League game. So
yeah, it was crazy. What, 8 threes?
Yeah, 8 threes. Yeah, 8 threes.
Insane.
Yeah, 8 threes. And so it's just like, there are players in there that are just using that just to get themselves ready, get themselves mentally ready, just to come back in, and hopefully by getting his legs fresh, he'll be ready to go. I mean, it also depends on Dennis Schroeder's health as well, because
I was not expecting Dennis to miss this much time. It was just hip soreness, and this is his 5th game now, right?
Yeah, so I probably assume he'll be back for Denver maybe, but who knows at this point, because with all the 3 days rest that's been in between, you think that Dennis would be coming back right away, but he just hasn't. So maybe sending Devin down to the G League is going to get him ready, because if this turns into a long-term situation for Dennis, then Devin's got to be the next guy up, assuming if like...
Just give him a chance.
Yeah, give him a shot.
But I'm glad that by giving him a shot, they're setting him down to the 209. So I love that for Devin. I think it's good. I don't think it's a demotion by any means. I just think this is a developmental thing, and just to... I mean, I feel bad that he's just sitting on the bench. Like, I would like him to get some run and just get the wheels turning, and that's what he'll be doing in RT's former college town.
One of my spots, man. One of my spots. UOP alum, 2019.
Yes, sir.
2019.
You mentioned Denver, and wow, they've been a very, very good team this season. I think they've only lost 6 games, right? 6 or 7?
Yeah. No, they lost like about, I think, 8 games.
They're at 8.
I think they're at 8. Yeah. 17-6.
6. See, okay.
Yeah.
The Denver Nuggets are 17-6. One of those losses is to the Kings on a back-to-back.
Yours truly.
But we're going to be playing them this week, our next game, and they will be missing Aaron Gordon. I think they'll be missing Christian Brown as well. I think both of those two are still on the injury report. But Jamal Murray has been going crazy the last week. Jokic has been doing Jokic-like things. It's not going to be an easy game. What are your keys to find a way to maybe but we're playing them at home, so it might be a little bit different.
That is true.
But what is your where's your head at going into this game?
God, I feel like this is deja vu because I just literally said this the last time that we played the Nuggets, but it's like you gotta just make Jokic a scorer.
So you want to see Jokic drop a 50 ball?
I do, but like leave alone Jamal Murray, leave alone Jonas, leave alone just like a lot of the guys, because at some point you just gotta just make the other guys beat you, right? It's not a surprise with this team. This team is just doing insane things because this team is playing so cohesive. Jamal Murray is averaging 25 points.
This is his all-star year.
All-star year.
This is Jamal's all-star year, and he's playing well worthy of all-star potential. And so was Aaron Gordon before he got hurt. They could have had 3 all-stars over there because they were all. I mean, they're all cooking. I was listening to young man in the 3. What's his name? Cam Johnson. Yeah, Johnson is like one of the hosts over there now. And hearing him talk about how confident that group is in Denver, I'm like, oh God. Like that team, I know the Kings beat them once. I don't know if Denver will let that happen again, but if you're looking at Denver as a whole, that team is built to go far this year. Obviously, they have to go through the team that's only lost one time, but that's a conversation that we'll talk about in April. And
a team that has a guy that's averaging 34 points a game, and an undrafted guy that's averaging 28, and a bunch of exciting whites, and the GOAT himself. So that's another team.
Yeah, the West is you're starting to see like who the top dogs in the West are, and Denver's definitely one of them. But on that podcast, Cam Johnson was talking about Jonas Valanciunas, and I'm like, oh, it's like he knows I'm listening. He's like, he was saying like, we are so impressed by Valanciunas because he's averaging like more points, like a point per minute that he's on the court right now. And I'm just like, and like he was getting like Jonas was just getting like serious love from just the Denver boys, because it was the Aaron Gordon podcast that I was listening to, and they were just dropping serious love for Jonas, and I'm like, great.
Yeah.
So, yeah, man, Denver's gonna be tough. Obviously, my prediction. I love making predictions just for Jokic stats. I think Jokic is going 38. He's been lacking in which category? By lacking, I mean like just one shy of a triple-double.
Maybe assists? Is it assists? I think it's assists because he's getting rebounds. Yeah. I have Jokic in fantasy, and so
I think 38, 12, and 9. I think he'll get 9
Damn, that's
again.
Actually that's crazy. That's crazy.
I think he's going for the 38, 12, and 9 piece.
That's crazy. That's because I was going to predict. I'll just change mine up because it's a little bit different. I'll say I think he'll do a 37, 10, and 8.
37, 10, and 8. Okay, so we both see great things happening from the Serbian GOAT. Do you think the Kings are winning that game?
No, not with like this is another great test for Raynaud, because
you're right.
This is another great test for him because he's going to be starting against Jokic, and you know how Jokic is. He is so good at just getting those second chance putbacks,
spin
rebound,
move.
Spin move, hook shot, and one
pump fake.
Yeah, it's just. I mean, we
love Jokic so much.
I
don't think people understand how much me and our team love Jokic.
We love just like when he just trots, he just goes trot, 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 back down, dribble, back down, pump fake, spin move, hook shot, and one.
And one. Every single time Jokic has the ball, me and RT are we're doing.
I might go on Thursday just to witness it live. I actually should. It's
so fun. It's so fun to watch that guy live. I don't think we're gonna win. I just don't think we're gonna win unless Russell Westbrook has another crazy triple double. But shouts out to the Brody one more time before we close out the pod. He is now number 14. Oh no, sorry. I think he's 14. I wrote it down somewhere.
Yeah, no, he's 14 on double doubles.
14th all time in double doubles.
He passed Pau Gasol.
That's crazy work. Do you know like how many it was? I didn't see it.
No, I didn't see it either. But it's
like the 500s.
It's something like that. Something ridiculous.
14th all time in double doubles. Like going up against like you're going up against like Timmy D's and like you're going up against like guys that were just getting points and rebounds. But he's like that stat blew my mind. I'm like, wow.
Oh my God.
Russ is that guy. It's crazy because like he's climbing up so many different ladders. I didn't even think about the double.
But he's just doing it on like he's doing it on just an incredible basis. You know, that's the stuff that you just want to see because let me pull up the double leaders all time.
That blew my because they put it on the screen. I'm like, wait a second. I know he's number one in triple doubles, but double doubles?
God,
because double doubles are so much easier to get. So I thought like it'd be someone else like. But damn, that's crazy. Okay, Tim Duncan, because he passed. He has 532. You know who's next to him? You're gonna be mind blown by this. So he's at 532, right?
Yeah, Chris Paul would be the next one.
At what?
He's at 539.
Oh, so he's coming for that one. He'll get that this year.
Vucevic has. Oh my God, this list is crazy, Christo.
Wait, where's Vucevic at?
Vucevic is at 569. Dude, this list is insane.
Okay, let's just go from the top. Yeah, Timmy D was number one. That's what I thought.
Karl Malone at 2, Hakeem Olajuwon at 3 with 775. Karl Malone has 814, by the way. Dwight Howard with 748. Kevin Garnett with 742. Shaquille O'Neal with 727. John Stockton with 714. Charles Barkley with 710. Goat James with 606. Patrick Ewing at 580. Nikola Vucevic at 569 was not on my bingo card.
606 for LeBron?
Yeah, 606 is for LeBron.
Can you do 606 divided by 82 real quick? How many seasons does that take?
It probably takes 606 divided by 82. Oh, whoops. 606 divided by 82. 7.3.
That's actually a surprise for me. I thought LeBron would be way more than that.
Yeah.
But I guess most of his games are like, the high 20s, 8 and 8.
Yeah, so that makes more sense. That makes more sense.
Wouldn't you think, he'd be able to
You probably would, but I mean, it's not like Shaq where Shaq was just basically
every night
it was a double, so and then Vucevic at 569 is insane. Duncan Robinson is next with 544. Chris Paul 539, Russell Westbrook, and then Pau Gasol, and then who's coming up right behind him?
The Trot?
The Trot man,
no
Mr.
way.
Jokic.
What's the Trot at?
524.
What?
Yeah. He actually...
Jokic is actually on track to beating the all-time record.
He is the one that's going to really trend up. That's the one that's going to really trend up. Yeah, that's the one that's really going to
It's so crazy that all the players that are in our era that we're watching basketball right now are going to be the guys that are breaking all the records. 20 years from now, Jokic will be at the top of maybe double doubles. He'll definitely be at the top of triple double. It's just so crazy to me.
Yeah,
so crazy that all the guys that we grew up watching are getting surpassed. It's crazy.
It's crazy times, Christo.
Man, I love the NBA so much. I love the NBA. Next game against Nuggets. Game after that, Timberwolves. Oh, it's gonna be tough. But thank you guys so much for watching. We are
live and out. But subscribe.
Yeah, subscribe. And if you like the Justin Bieber mistletoe rendition that me and RT came up with today,
dude, we're dropping.
We will sing it underneath the Christmas tree.
Oh my God. We're doing every Justin Bieber Christmas.
We might just do the whole. You see that Christmas tree?
Yeah.
Me and RT are gonna sing underneath there.
Yeah, we will.
The whole album.
We might as well just do every song now from the Justin Bieber Christmas album. I think that's
I know
a
you
must.
like Drummer Boy.
I like Drummer Boy. You know what I also like? I like the Fa La La one. That is so good.
I knew he was
That's so good. It's Boys to Men and Justin Bieber, dude.
I know everyone likes to listen to Mariah Carey during Christmas. I'm listening to Biebs. I'm listening to Biebs.
Come on. I'm listening to Biebs too. Come on.
Hey, if you're listening to Biebs, hashtag Kings and Beams. Biebs.
Kings and Biebs, baby.
Kings and Biebs. Hashtag Kings and Biebs. We love you.
We love you. Good night.
Oh my God, we weren't recording. What?
Yo!